we are doing our annual Santa delivery. So every year we go to Red Rhubarb. They're an amazing gifting company, and they put together some hampers for us to give to our agents who give us the most valued support throughout the year. So these are agents who we will regularly style for, and then we send out a Christmas card and something additional to all the other agents we do work for. So this is us saying thank you.
So this year, 2023, we will have done 1,040 installs. And so for us, obviously, hitting another milestone, that's our second year in a row where we've done over 1,000 installs. Last year, 2022, to the same dates, we did almost exactly 1,000. I've got 1,000 written down here. I think it might have been, or maybe 1,001. So we hit the number. And then the year before that was 650 and it went down. So we had quite a bit of growth in previous years. This year we've had a little bit of growth again, but it's been more, I guess we've used the word consolidated. We're capped a little bit by the capacity of the trucks, but we've also had a slower start to the year, which, around Australia, but definitely in Brisbane as well. What would you say, through till about May?
Yeah, we had a slower start of the year, and that was not just nationwide, that was international as well. So that was definitely felt through the industry, and has had a bit of a slower growth on the back of all these interest rate rises too, to what we would have been seeing at this time last year.
So it's still a big year for us, especially the back end of the year. We just had a very big last couple of months, which was spring, which is always busy. Starting to taper off now, going into December. In terms of some of the other numbers, our biggest month of the year was October again, which it has been for the past few years. We did 113 installs, plus I don't have the number of pack-ups, but it was a significant number of pack-ups as well. Last year we actually had a bigger month in October, 121 installs, but
we pushed really hard that month. That was on our Foxy Vacay. The final numbers had to hit a certain target, and we pushed really hard, the team, on the final day. So we didn't reach our Foxy Vacay numbers this year, but we're still going to have a fantastic end of year.
Yeah, so I think one thing that was a little bit different this year compared to last year is probably we didn't have the biggest month that we've ever had, but it was more consistent. I think the number of months where we got very close to or just above 100 installs a month was a lot higher this year, whereas last year it was a lot lower at the start of the year, but towards the back end we kind of hit those peaks. So I guess that's a good thing from a consistency point of view. In terms of the number of houses out, which is always an interesting one that we kind of keep track of, at the end of October 2022, we hit 181 houses out, which was the record at the time. We beat that by one house this year in October as well. So we hit 182 at our peak. And then since then, obviously it starts to go down again as we're doing more pack-ups at the end of the year. But the next one, I feel like you should say the next one because it's probably more in your wheelhouse, but it kind of is tied in, which is the number or the dollars spent on new furniture this year.
Yeah, so last year we spent $1.5 million on the new stock. So you can see that we had a significant growth period across last year. Obviously we didn't have that same growth period this year. And the dollars spent on stock this year is a literal refresh of the stock that we have here in-house. So we spent $675,000 on new stock this year. And that was new pieces to come and make sure that we have the consistency in our turnover of making sure that what we deliver is unique and fresh.
The last number that we always look at, because it's interesting from a business point of view, where our work is coming from, and that is looking at the number of different agents that we've worked for and the number of new agents who we did our first job for this year. Last year, the total number of agents we did work for was 325. This year it was 344, so again, a little bit of growth. But of those 344, 185 of them were actually new agents that we'd never worked for. So I think that's pretty consistent with previous years. Somewhere close to the half, 50%, are generally new agents, which obviously from a business point of view means that there's a lot of new opportunity, the marketing is doing well, we're getting a lot of new inquiry through the door, and it means that Foxy as a business is, I guess, being part of we're getting more conversations with new agents.
Challenges. I think as any business owner would likely attest to, challenges for us will always come in the form of people. So getting the right combination of staff, whether or not it be in styling, admin, marketing or logistics team, and actually having those applicants come through and as an email, people wanting to apply, there just doesn't seem to be as many people out there. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and that's been that way. I guess small business owner has been saying this pretty much since COVID. The number of applicants is very low. I feel like it has changed a little bit this year. So there are more people applying again, but not as many as pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you said the combination of people, but also just purely, like I said, the numbers, finding new appropriate people for the team.
An expectation, I guess, those people coming through. I've had these conversations with agents interviewing for an admin position, someone with no background, but their expectations of what they're going to receive as far as remuneration and off-site versus on-site, it's sitting very high. So just sort of leveling out with where the job market is sitting at the moment. Finding, I guess, the other challenge I would say is finding that balance between how we're wanting to consolidate and being okay with numbers sitting where they are versus wanting to ramp up growth. There are things here that we could do, and there's strategies and promotions that we would love to do, but finding the balance between making sure we have the team well trained up to be able to cover that versus bringing those promotions too early and burning everybody out. It's been a really fine line that we've really tracked this year. I think we ended up finding a comfort level of where we wanted to sit rather than really pushing. Looking forward to pushing next year though, just getting the team trained up in the right spot.
Yep.
You know what impressed me? This is the first year that we've taken off any sort of significant time throughout the year, and in particular during our peak period, and our team stepped up. Some of our team have outperformed themselves. They've done absolutely phenomenal. We've got certain team members who within their own roles have significantly stepped up and are very deserving of a promotion. And we're excited to have those discussions with them in the coming months.
Yep.
And yeah, again, I think that answer is always going to be team-based as well.
I think it is. Yeah, I think most years we say the same thing, don't we?
Yep.
Plans for 2024, and to give you context, last year's answer was focus on automation, systems, processes, and scalability.
Well, we definitely did that.
We did a lot of it, but it's going to, I'm guessing
Come
the
into
answer is going to
effect next
be,
year.
this is going to be part of
We
next
did
year's
the
answer as well.
preparation.
Yes, so one thing that we just came from a meeting today actually was around our inventory database warehouse management software that we're getting built specifically for us, custom software, and that was part of the automation and I guess the technology side of things. So that is getting very, very close to being ready for us to implement. So in the new year, that will be something that we're looking to. We also have had lots of conversations around AI and how we can use it now in different areas, and also how we can keep an eye on it for other use cases that we've been talking about. I guess, you know, consolidation versus growth is just like you just said. We've had a year where we have grown, but we haven't grown, you know, like previous years.
Yep.
We think we've got a team in place now that we're ready to go again.
Yep.
So that's what we'll be looking for.
Conference?
Conference is a big one.
Conference is a huge one. So something we're very much looking forward to is the conference at the first half of the year, but something you might see popping up a little bit more is some more events, bits and pieces that we'll be putting on, and very much looking forward to that. But overall, I just want to say a really, really big thank you to all of our family on social media, our friends, our agents who time and time again, their support is so welcome, and is so we are so grateful for it, and we really hope that our service and the way that we operate and the way that we hold ourselves is a perfect representation of your brand and of yourself. We would love to work as hard and do as much for your vendors as you do.
Yeah, we also want to say thank you to not only the agents but the clients, so the people actually putting their trust in us and engaging us to help them sell their home. So it's a big thing to be selling an asset like a house, whether you've lived there or investment property, and to trust us with that. You know, it's an honour, I guess, for us as a business, and
hopefully we achieved a fantastic outcome for your property,
Yes.
and hopefully we get to meet many more of you in the year coming.